Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
Right.
And everything. You have players out there.
I think the fellas are taking more serious.
No way.
What grade?
That one. Yes. Because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Nico, Simeon. Fellas, we on the inside. We are the ones with the unenviable task of reviewing, another frustrating day supporting this team, right? No consistency, no continuity. I mean, this was meant to be our easier run to make up some ground, and close the points gap on the teams ahead of us now. But
Yep.
we here losing at home, for the second league game in a row. Just Tuesday, we saw our second string team, wipe the floor with Palace. Expecting that when we bring back, we heavy hitters, they would have take it up a notch and we would have see some kind of level up. Well, we see how that went today, right? What are you saying, fella? What are you saying?
Yeah, stuff there in the office. I guess we're getting to it. The Premier League. And we will talk about it. I don't want to get too much into it now, but we'll talk about it. But again, stuff there in the office again.
Yeah. Simeon?
I mean, we saw a little glimpse, this last, we wondered if it was a sign of things to come, but we just back to reality, man. Like, we've known we behind. We've known that other teams have caught up and trying to pass us, but to see us, the term they use in England is what's called stuck in the mud. That's how I feel we are, man. Like we can't get traction nowhere. We just keep slipping. We can't get going at all, man. So at some point we have to realize where we are and come to terms with because we are mid-table side. I mean, we really and truly in everything we're a mid-table side. It's hard to say, but that's where we are.
But that's the frustrating thing too. I mean, it's a reality that probably we don't accept that we are a middle table team because see Nico agreeing with you with that
Yep,
statement as well.
100%.
But we finish and this is what I'm getting at, right? Finish, third last season. Then on top of that, we got the striker. We got a striker that we so desperately needed. We brought in the goalkeeper to change the style of football that we playing.
Okay,
Right? We brought in a midfielder that
let me-
the manager seemed to really like. So then
Nah, let me step you right there. First thing you said was you finished third last year. Last year was a weird year. We know some teams fell off last year. And last year, you talk about the striker situation. We hardly scored goals last year. At the end of the year, we hardly scored goals. It was Rashford and he Magic doing thing. We hardly scored goals. One, the striker we brought in last minute, injured, and played no preseason. That's your striker. Martial, he and all still getting back in. We weren't supposed to be. We supposed to get a big striker. We did not get an experienced striker. We can't be vexed with Hoyland as much as I want to be vexed with Hoyland because we need to show frame some more. We need to do more. But he's a young striker, so
More
we
than
can't
that
get.
way. Oh, God.
I mean, he might running, but he might have.
Yeah.
He might
It
have
was that
I
finishing. It was that finishing, but
he's not good.
it was that
He's not
effort.
good.
It was that effort. 100.
You can't
It was that-
we
fight
ain't
him.
one Greg
Yeah,
Horse.
can't
We
fight him
ain't
for
one
effort.
another
You
Greg
can't
Horse.
fight him.
We ain't taking effort no more. We don't need
I
another
tell
Bruno.
you, who was the striker we supposed to go for, but everybody say Hoyland, but I tell you no.
Nah, Hoyland was second. Hoyland was a plus. Hoyland was this guy plus Hoyland.
No,
But
I agree with that.
I guess plenty room to improve, and as I said before, Hoyland is not
For the future.
this season.
He's for the
Hoyland is for
future.
the future.
But
Alright,
then
second
again,
point.
go ahead, Nick.
Second point. You have who you said goalkeeper. Gosh, I want to come back to this. We throw away. We shut stepper. Golden Glove goalkeeper. The guy, as bad as he's with his foot, what he managed to do is stop shot. We know this. We know what we have. We know what we have in the Gea. All these games we losing 1-0. You know how much saves the Gea made to make us reach finish third, and all these low teams we play, they had like 2 or 3 shots. But guess who saved them? The Gea. He didn't get no credit because they low teams and we were supposed to beat them. But the Gea making them and create shape that I never say it Onana, a bad keeper, but the Gea was that special. That's why he was paid $307,000 a week. That's why. That was his specialty. We get rid of him, but Onana, fine. So we don't take that from last year's team. Mount. I mean, we still waiting for the best of Mount. Nobody really know why, what special he brings. I mean, you say he play like Bruno, but we already have Bruno, and Bruno still get, Bruno can get, marked out of games. Bruno don't play. Oh gosh, let me put it this way: Van Dijk has more assists than Bruno. Van Dijk, and I know it's not Bruno fault, but we try. Oh gosh,
But all right, let me put a story, right? Because I mean, I think the issue with the team is finding the right balance. But I don't want to run ahead of myself, right? Because I want to get into the game a little bit, right? And as I said it in my opening comments, right? A second string team. We played on Tuesday, and we were here. I mean, Simeon, I know you are a little more on the pessimistic side where this team is concerned, right? But for me, I don't know about Nico, but I was expecting, you're bringing Bruno, you're bringing Rashford. I can't remember who again would have come in and didn't play Tuesday. But you're bringing these people who are arguably better players. This was arguably our best possible 11, given, the defensive issues, right? What went wrong? Where did it go wrong for us today? That is what I want to get, because again, and I guess I'm doing it for emphasis, guys, because I really need to drive this in, right? We second string team wiped the floor with Crystal Palace. And while you could tell me it's a different Crystal Palace team, it was a different Manchester United team as well. So Crystal Palace would have level up, we level up too, right? So it's a level playing field where I still think in terms of quality, man for man, Man United were better. Where did it go wrong for us today?
Let me start this one. No, I'll take this one, Simeon. Right? You'll jump in after. What Rashford had to realize, right, is that athleticism, you're not going to. You're in the Premier League too long for the opposition not to know your style of football, right? And our play only going through Rashford. So the football is so predictable, right? Rashford today had a lot of opportunities where he was one-on-one with the defender and did nothing. Because you know why? He is so predictable. And that is the difference with a quality player. So if it is that you played all your football through Rashford, then Rashford has to have the intelligence and dynamics to change up his game. But Rashford isn't doing that. Rashford doing the same thing over and over and over, season after season. You scored 30 goals last season. You don't think now it will have more emphasis on you? Yes. So now you have to use a little more intelligence, a little more football understanding, right? To win games, to create chances for other players, to create chances for yourself. You can't be doing the same one trick pony stuff for another season running. So for me, Rashford has failed to reinvent himself, and we continue to play the football only through Rashford. Because you watch football today, every time we're looking for Rashford. But the stream maybe wasn't showing himself. I don't know, right? But to me, the football was so one-sided, and it was so easy for Crystal Palace, and the football was so slow that Crystal Palace could get into formation and then lock down Rashford. And the moment that happened, our football was dead.
Yeah, and let me just add one thing where you said it, Nico, and I don't know if it's something, because Rashford seems as though for him to play good, he had to score. So it's like it almost seems as though he's trying to force the issue to build up himself, so that we could see the Rashford of last season. Not understanding that we don't necessarily need that player to carry the team. We saw it Tuesday that all we need is a team player. Because there was so much times today where I saw Rashford got the ball and it had Mount making the run. It had times Højlund come for the ball and Rashford choosing to just go for himself. And I've been saying this for time, that a striker in this team, it could be who. You will always struggle for service playing with the kind of wingers that we have. Anyway, go to Simeon.
I mean, the issue, even Ten Hag said it, our issue is, we have many issues, but the first issue is scoring goals. We've played all the football for the first 15, 20 minutes. And then, we haven't scored enough goals. And we concede, then we know what goes on. But we have to find ways to score goals in the first 15, 20 minutes when the team is under pressure. And the issue we have now is that, you have Rashford. He by himself is, he is too good a player to not leave a game without either a goal or an assist. That should be his goal every game.
But Simeon, I could just cut you there. You'll continue after, but I don't even think that should be the case. I want a proper performance. And a performance don't necessarily have to leave you with a goal and assist once the team win. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that is exactly what Rashford probably didn't know in his head, that he need to have a goal or assist every game. And I don't think that's the case. I think once the team comes first, the goals, the individual accolades and the individual targets will follow. Go through.
No, that's actually a pretty good point. That shouldn't be, we shouldn't be here. You see all these memes, you see a little 6-year-old child pointing to the open guy right there to pass the ball to. We shouldn't be here, talking about how the obvious thing that Rashford should be doing. That's why you have a coach, and Ten Hag talking today about we need to play smarter, but Ten Hag need to do better because it's his job that's becoming more and more in the focus. I think Rashford, I talk about Højlund, and people might get vexed, but Højlund, when you play with a Rashford and Rashford passes you the ball twice in a good position to score and you don't score, what do you think will happen next? I see, I was watching, that one play where he kind of spin around, looking for the ball and fall down. And I'm like, he gonna get there, but something, his balance, after his back, I have to go back and look at his, Atlanta days, but something ain't balanced. He's still off. I think
Højlund focusing too much on the physical battles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand?
I agree.
He focusing too much on the physical battles, and then when you do get the ball the only chance you still trying to shield off because that chance he got there. If he just spin off the defender and take his shot, I sure he or even compose himself or focus on the ball and the man on his back. He'd have score.
Yeah, I think we us having no. I don't think we have a set, pattern of play. We have no set routines. How we used to go out there and say, express yourself or something like that. What do you say? Express yourself.
Yeah, go there and express yourself. Yeah.
I feel like we get there and I feel like we have no, and I think that's causing a big problem. I mean, obviously, and I said Marshall is the best person to play against a team in a low block. We know this. Marshall is move the ball up and pass. He might score a goal, but he will bring somebody else in to score a goal. That's Marshall's game.
Marcel came on today, played for 13 minutes and created 2 chances, isn't it?
So my thing, right? So then I would have said that we need to take our chances, right? But to me, we had to go a step after before that. We had to be able to create chances. And to me, this team has not been creating chances. If it's for the striker, if it's for the winger, if it's for whoever, or what team, as Simeon would have said, we don't have a pattern of play to understand how we want to play to create chances for our strikers. And to me, that is where Ten Hag come in now. Because last season we saw it, we were saying, well, he had to overcompensate defensively. So that's why we're struggling to in the attack or to create. But still, we're not seeing the tactics to be able to break down teams or where Ten Hag teams could break down a team now. And to me, that is where some of the work had to come in as well. That Ten Hag has to develop a tactic, and the team understand the philosophy where we can break down teams and create chances. And I think that is a big part of our game as well. That's lacking. Or Ten Hag game, that's lacking.
And if you watch preseason, that was our problem all preseason.
All last season,
and that issue, that's what worries me. We ain't fixed that yet. We have try all different kind of players. We brought Mount one about playing hard. We can't have all these guys playing. We are Manchester United. I need a player that can do things effortlessly. I want him to take the ball. I don't want him to be struggling. I want him to do everything effortlessly. That's called class. I want a man to do that without having to stay. I mean, isn't that why we spend all this money for? If our players have to struggle against Crystal Palace to score.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna get some of the comments here, and I'll give my thoughts on the point that we're talking about. Kristen on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Guys, don't forget to like and share the podcast, right? We want to get more people in on the content. I know it could be it's a tough watch for everybody because we just want to dismiss yourself from any kind of football today, but the therapy session just helps sometime, right? He's saying here already talking about Hoyland when we have a headless chicken on the left wing. 4 goals in the last 30 games. Rashford is selfish and all about himself. He is not a team player.
We know this.
I think everybody kind of agree with that, and Rashford just keep proving, he's proving it. He also saying here, imagine he played with the likes of Rooney, Zlatan, Cavani, Ronaldo, Lukaku, and how much assists he have. Yeah, wow, yeah. Facts, these men. That's me?
We know this. I think so, yeah.
I kind of agree with that. That's small. Sorry about that, fellas. Yeah, I don't know where that comes from. Yeah, phone is real play with you. Yeah. So that's a real good point he's saying here because when you play these kind of strikers, you're supposed to be racking up the assists, right? These men were banging goals and came and struggled to do that when playing with Rashford.
But they eventually did. That's my thing is you have a short. You have like 2 or 3 chances all game. You have 2 or 3 chances a game playing with us. You need somebody experienced to put those chances away, and that's what we've been saying. Like all That's why we wanted who we had. That's what I liked about Cavani. One that's what the good strikers used to do. Like 1 or 2 or 3 chances put away. Like Hoyland has to find his feet here right now. I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to be a bad player, but that's where he is in his development. He's not going to do that. He's not going to be a Kane right now.
Agreed.
Yeah. Christian saying here we played the same side not more than 4 days ago and looked so much better. Because play was switched on both wings. Today it was to the wing. Imagine Plestre wasn't bad and he will have to come off and Rashford had to go on the Davion on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Yeah,
Right. Christian also saying here Rashford almost 10 seasons in the EPL and still waiting for Rashford to come good. Lord Christian, you're going in real hard on Rashford. Rashford this evening.
He gave it to 3 goals last season, but again, we need that consistency.
Yep, that's the word.
JP on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Good night to you. He said I make a quick pass through Rush. He's a player, but Olin know that. But he's trying too hard to be the hero. Why are you trying to dribble through 3 to 4 players when there's a clear pass? Yeah.
Exactly.
Facts. Because I'm saying here you still had to look at for a player to like, yes? Right? Garnacho played 10 minutes and did way more than Rashford. Mount was good today, though. What are they think about that? Alright, Jody on the inside, blessed night to you, man. He's saying free on Van de Beek. Alright, he saw what Lexi did to Moruga and tried it, JP. Christophe Gueda again at Rashford. He said when Rashford is good, he good. When he not, Adam Johnson is better. God. But in terms of where it went wrong for us today, I think it's been the same narrative over and over. We're very predictable and we're very slow. Right? And when let's be real. And Nico, you mentioned it, you're playing in the Premier League. Teams just learn pretty quickly. Palace would have seen what happened Tuesday. You feel them coming to play expansive football and give space. So we knew there was going to be a serious low block game plan from
And let's look at the hit on the set play.
Exactly. We know that was going to happen. Right? You had to be very, very naive to think that this game was going to be open and we was going to get a whole heap of space and wherever. Right? So for us to be building up so slow and causing a team that is strongly defensive to reset themselves, it was always going to be problems, especially when one of your wingers on his own beat, right? And the next one, you're hoping to get something more from him because he's a youth player, coming into the first team, coming into first team minutes. So you're not going to put any kind of heavy expectation on him. So you see our slow build-up play and these million passes in the back we like to be playing before we even try to move the ball forward and progress it forward. That will always put us in a problem where we have to be meeting 8 and 9 players sitting behind the ball waiting for us to break them down. Right? And for me, that is where it went wrong because it will always come down to a matter of us making a mistake to concede. Right? And that's just how football is. And then we now have to play catch up and we're in trouble. So for me, guys, our issue is we build up the play too slow. Simeon, you talk about patterns. We have no patterns. Our best pattern is give Rashford the ball. And then Salah. And that way to say it?
Etal.
Yeah.
I mean, and we do an attack. I mean, we talk about the wings. Who is there to fear in the middle? I'm not talking about Hoyland. Behind Hoyland, I just feel like there's nobody to break a line in front of defense. You pass it to right to left, but a number of times the ball came to the middle and there was space to run forward, and guys just passed the ball. No one could get the ball and move forward into attack the penalty box. I don't know.
But they was so congested too because Palace defending the middle of the field because it was so easy for them. Because Rashford did nothing on the left, and then of course he had a cut in, so he making them more congested in the middle. and Pelestri would have been the only one who trying to stay wide, but the ball was hardly going to him. So the middle was so compact that, but it was obvious to me that you really had to build your attacks off the wing now and try to pull them apart, because the moment you have them congested in the middle of the field, then it's very difficult for us.
And you know, Nico, as you say that, right? It's harder because when I was watching the game, the commentator said that Ten Hag just indicated to Rashford, stay out wide, because you have to pull them open. But
You have to
Rashford
do
keep
that.
cutting in and closing down and congesting the space.
Exactly.
And
So
making
when
it
you
very,
congest
very
that
easy
space,
for Palace to defend us.
and then you don't have a, let me say, a show or even a regular who would overlap him, you know, to even create more
Pull
space
and
going
pull
wide.
defenders, yeah.
So now you have Amrabat who coming into the midfield, and you don't really have that nobody running past Rashford to even pull Palace
left side,
apart.
yeah.
So it made it even much more difficult to break them down.
Yeah. Let me look at our next thing now. I remember in the early in Ten Hag tenure here, he used to say, well, you know, we have a responsibility to play the game, and the referee's gonna make the call, but we have to play the game. But lately, you know, he's been going in on some of the decisions. Now, I was trying to get the picture, but I couldn't get it in time for the pod. But there was a moment in the game where a cross was played into Rashford. And I don't know if it's Anderson or Ward. One of them, the ball was going to land on Rashford's foot on you. And he, back facing the ball hit his hand and stopped it from going to Rashford, and the ball went to the goalkeeper. Now, Nico, you know I've come to you for these kind of things, right? This thing had me shouting at my TV because I'm trying to understand. In the Champions League, Eriksen do so and get a penalty. Right? This I mean, I put my head on a block that Rashford and make my head get mashed up here. But I feel if that would fall on Rashford foot, we might have scored. Right? Why VAR review? What going on? What going on with VAR and these decisions?
The refereeing is very subjective. Every competition, every different referee, every country you go, the refereeing is subjective. So and so I give up because I watch a challenge today, right? So Casemiro got a yellow card, right? All right, fair enough. When it is Rashford got the tackle in the first half just on top of the area, that was even worse. When I had to, remember that play? When I had to stop, and it had no caution. So I just be totally confused with some of these refereeing decisions. They're very inconsistent, and I just get frustrated with them, you know. But some of these decisions terrible. It's terrible, and where you're seeing City and Liverpool getting and Arsenal getting, Jed, they're turning a blind eye for us.
Yeah, and even if Liverpool get a bad call like today with the offside,
right?
Big apology, from
exactly.
the PGMG or ML or whatever.
Yeah.
But we ain't getting nothing.
Yeah.
So what your thoughts on that? But you see anything, Richard on the inside? Good night to you, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. Where's Simeon?
We Manchester United, man. We don't get no good call. I mean, we get one, you know, the Onana thing at the beginning of the season, and that was it. I mean, that's all we go get. You know, I see. Remember Casemiro got in trouble for grabbing the guy by the collar.
Yeah.
Well, you get a red card for that, right?
Yeah, yes, enough.
Yeah. With our 3 games.
Yeah, I saw what that happened today. Was it Brighton against West Ham? Is it Fati for Brighton? Is that the guy?
Yeah. Aston Villa versus Aston Villa.
Yeah. He kicked the some dude from Aston Villa. And the guy turned around and like almost pick him up by the collar. No card, no nothing. I still around watching. I'm like, wait now.
If Casemiro to do that,
red. I mean,
They're running to find the passport or can't to send him back Brazil.
Yeah, boy. I think that's terrible. That's terrible. The referee is terrible against Manchester United. Terrible. The worst. I don't know what it is we do so. But
boy, I know that the price of being successful.
I think so.
Or what?
I think
but
so.
It's like,
you know,
they just don't want to give us nothing, boy. Nothing at all.
It's the worst. The referee is the worst against United.
JP saying here, Bruno and Rashford had to be heroes for this team too long. So when they're on the field, it's like we forget how to play as a team and look to them to do something special. Well, for me, the solution then is to take them off the field, right? Because when they weren't there, you see how well we played as a team, right? Look, Ten Hag will do that. You're also saying here, a few days earlier, without them, right? The team was the most team football we played in a long time. Facts.
True.
All right. Christian saying here, Reem, come now, man. That is not a pen. The man had Christian.
And one thing I could agree with Christian, but at the end of the day, other teams getting those calls. So that is where I could side with Reem that other teams getting these calls. I could agree and say, yeah, the man was down, he wasn't facing the ball, the hand hit him, the ball hit his hand, but other teams getting these calls. You know.
No, but my argument is, if his hand was not in a natural position as they want to call
it.
So
you could say his hand was in a natural position, Reem, because it was actually on his side.
But what I'm saying is, it stopped the ball from going to attacker in the box, right? And I mean, we know Rashford not on form, but you look at the striker and the chances of if that had fallen to Rashford's foot, that would have been a goal. So I don't understand how you could watch a man in natural position.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just find
that
I don't think they
would have given us a penalty. And if they give us a penalty, I would have say we lucky if we actually got it.
Wow.
But the thing about it is, other teams getting those calls. But United won't.
But what I'm saying is, I'm watching the interruption of a play, whether unintentional or not. It is an interruption of a play.
Nah.
With your hand in the box, you're stopping a proper goal scoring opportunity. Whether your back turn to the ball, whether the ball hits your hand and it's stopped from going to the player.
Nah.
Wow.
Well, again, I mean, it's subjective again because another.
We'll say for Man United. We'll say for
Man United, but if you're going by the laws of the game, it should not be a penalty.
Alright, I don't know. I logically that not making sense.
But if that was Real Madrid and playing Manchester United, it hit Maguire hand, penalty.
Richard saying here they don't want us on top again. Yeah, well, we've seen it. We've seen it by everything that do is sabotage. All right. I agree. Other teams getting calls, but that was not pen today. I see it different, but I relent. All right. And the player back turn, it's not like he did on. No, it had nothing to do with purpose. It had nothing to do with intentionality here. As far as I'm concerned, intentional, unintentional, that's a handle. Nah, I ain't taking that one. All right. Javid on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying, glory, glory, Man United. Missed opportunity today, no identity, no deliberate patterns of play, plenty work to do. What we doing pre-season then? What it is we doing pre-season?
Nah, but our pre-season was shambles. We said our pre-season we didn't look good. And the same thing will happen that we was going to in pre-season. We weren't creating chances. The first few games we looked better. And then as we say, as the big names come, the football went right back down to barely creating a chance.
Hope. Yeah, to hit hope.
Yeah. And you say run hard and whatever. Shot for the bad, fight for the bad, whatever.
Quick.
That why Scott McTominay has always have a place in this team.
Quick word, Nico. That goal we concede. You think Onana gonna do better?
Nah, boy. Nah. And on top of it too, it was deflected off Dalot.
Yeah.
So that was a one-time volley. The ball in bounce on the volley with a deflection. Nah. I'm not saying De Gea might not get a touch on it, but that was a tough one. That was
It's a good
that was
goal.
a quality
Yeah.
goal. That was a good
Yeah.
goal.
I think we gain in one aspect, but we lose in another aspect with
So you said De Gea would have saved that?
I think so.
Nah, boy. Woo!
No, but hear me out.
I'm not
Hear me
saying
out
no,
before-
I'm not saying
before-
no, because we see De Gea pull off miracles. But wow, that was
But
good.
here, no, but here what
That
I'm
was a
saying, there's
good
no
goal.
me.
That was a good goal.
There's no for all the sharks that I want to come out at me. There's no me saying that you know. There's no me on Onana and saying you should have keep the hair. All right, because I would have said plenty times on the receipts there that it was time for the hair to go. But
Yeah,
that
well.
don't mean I can't recognize where the hair was stronger than Onana. And as Simeon had mentioned earlier, in plenty games where we could have lost or drawn, De Gea pull off that one critical big save and keep winning a game. Right? And I think, I saw it more than once this season, where I just feel Onana could have done better in terms of, keeping the ball out to the back of the net. Right? So,
The
that's
amount
I
of
think,
goals, the amount of goals this man conceded for the season already.
but I'm telling you,
know what I mean? He had confidence how to take a hit by. He had to sort of question himself because the amount of goals this man conceded for the season so far.
and there's some serious string up to it.
Yeah.
Kind of normal
Yeah.
kind of swap passes, string again, boy.
Yeah, boy.
You see, man get time to set up, turn the hip, arch
Yeah.
it down, and the full foot through. I mean, that ain't, yeah.
I don't think you'll see the best Onana this season, to be honest. I
But-
think
but
he'll
you
get
think-
better as time go by. I think he'll get better. But we won't see the best of Onana this season. We won't see the best of Haaland this season.
But you think with Onana, right, seeing the best of him and not seeing the best of him right now, you think the fact that he don't have a fully fit, proper defensive line in front of him have anything to do with that?
Yeah, because we always say that, that a defense, they don't really change the defense much. When Village and Ferdinand fit, that is who you playing. And you see the thing about it, it's so, football is happening so, or plays and decisions is happening so much of a millisecond that you just know what your defender going to do. Because you're so accustomed playing, so hey, he going to challenge here, hey, most likely he may not challenge, so you look to pull off a save, so these things happen in a millisecond because you're so accustomed with the central defenders now. When it's changing all the time, then you always recalculating in your mind in that split second, and things could change. 1 minute is Maguire, 1 minute is because I remember with Maguire you're thinking the worst every time, and then with Varane, you might feel all right, and then you might drop your guard, and because Varane make a slip or Martinez make a slip, so you're always unsure.
Yeah. Christian saying here, Ronaldo and Maguire was the problem. Them ain't playing now. Who is the problem now? Rashford?
Yeah, we gotta pick on somebody,
Yeah.
I guess.
And you see, I mean, I know mine wasn't revisionism. You see this kind of revisionism, Christian? Come on, man. We know Ronaldo was an issue. We know Maguire blind. Come on. Right?
Hey, let's talk about Maguire. We fighting the score. Maguire passing ball against you and play in a jet.
Yeah, boy.
Wait,
And Garnacho
what's
there and
that?
Garnacho say, just play to me right here and you pass the ball hard.
Yeah. Hey, that's a Maguire Betty Sawa. And it's you just make people just like him, by he just try hard, but it's like him. Or just make a simple pass now. You
Use not the
Hey.
attacker. You don't have the skill set. Give Garnacho the ball and you just go back in the box and use your big to score something.
hey. Go ahead.
Christian saying Evans play a very great game against Burnley. Ain't play a game. He even came on for a few minutes in the last Palace game and almost scored. Hannibal was also great last few games and ain't play today. Now, let me be real, right, Christian? We knew what Evans came in for, what the role he came into play, right? So when we see Evans had to thank the Lord for the small mercies, right? And I mean, yes, he played okay, but let me don't act like he light the whole of fire now, right?
Yeah.
Let me be real with yourself.
And to be honest, Varane and Lindelof is ahead of Evans, so
Correct.
I don't see why you would drop Lindelof. No, I'm not seeing that. But as good as he would have played, with the opportunities he have gotten, yeah. And again, that's what we brought here for. When you get your minutes, give your best, and I think that is what he is doing.
I think what you're saying was that Evans has been more a threat on set plays than Harry Maguire.
100% by miles.
Which is amazing because I don't know how the size difference is, but like Evans is so much more effective. And what that brings my attention to, like, why are our defenders and like CDM so much more effective in the box than our attackers? Why is Casemiro scoring these goals? Why is Varane almost like our guys that's supposed to be not supposed, whose job is not right to score goals, are so much more comfortable in the box than our attackers? I don't know. I mean, it just seems like Casemiro getting there, he knows what to do. You know, you see Varane, people up in there, you know what, Evans there, but he put Højlund, Rasmussen there, it just like man struggling. He put Mount flying there with the header, like he cast. Why? I mean, I'm just putting it out there. Why is that? It seems like our attackers can't do anything with a cross in the box. Why?
Yeah, correct. I don't know. I really can't answer that question because there's years now we're struggling to score from set pieces. You know? And just on the Hannibal point here, I think Ten Hag said he played 3 games or so on the bounce. So, and with him not, you know, that is not the normal flow of competitive games for Hannibal, he needed to give him a rest. So I expected to see Hannibal back in the team Tuesday. That's just my take, right? And I'm just telling you what Ten Hag said. Saying here, some men ain't play a good game yet for the season and constantly starting and not calling names. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Javed saying here was the consensus on Rasmus so far. He raw, very raw. He working hard, right? But as we always say, no striker will come and succeed in a team where the wingers don't play for them or the team don't play for them, right? So Rasmus just had to continue to body slam defenders and sumo wrestle with them in the middle and hope he get a little scraping sometimes. That is
but
just
as well he needs to refine his craft. You know, as Reem said, he's very raw. But with his style of play, he needs to refine the type of striker he is. Yes, he may be physical, but what it is, you have a good touch, you have a good shot, you could head the ball properly, you could shoot with both feet, you could hold up the play and link players. What it is, you know, he has to refine that because we don't know what it is. We looking at him and we don't know what it is. If it's
energy.
a sumo style, you know, player, you know, that you just fighting up with men whole day. If that is your style, we don't know, but I know what we want. But he needs to refine his style because we don't know what real quality he bringing. You know, we could say what Martial bringing, we could say what maybe Lukaku would have bring, we'd have say what Cavani could have bring Ronaldo, but we still don't know what type of striker Rasmus is, to be honest, and he has to refine that.
Yeah. No, fellas, you know, we of recent times we keep, you know, just setting records and all kind of thing, right? So this is probably our worst start, or this is our worst start in 34 years. Now, I think it's time to panic because 4 losses in 7 games is not a good sighting, right? Are they worried for Ten Hag? You know that, you know, at some point the players could just down the tools, which would ultimately lead to him losing the work. I mean, what Ten Hag need to do to fix things at Man United?
Simeon, go ahead now.
I mean, don't look at me for any positivity. I mean, I was trying to be positive the last show, but, you know, I try to find the things that I could lean on. I mean, like Arambat coming to the team. But I'm worried about Aaron Butt, right? Like every little positive thing we get, I feel like it's being taken away. Like, now he's struggling playing. So left back he played today
Yeah.
on on his now on his he on his right foot. Like I feel like we putting guys in positions where they're not gonna do well in, and I worry how that's gonna affect them going down the line. But as far as Ten Hag and his job, like I'm worried. Like Crystal Palace is not a bad team. They're a mid-table team, but the mid-table teams in this league are good. Look at results around the league. Wolves beat City. You can't just pull up. It used to be a time back in the day when you could just, I used to ride bikes, well, race bikes. I'll just pull up, and win races. But then you go somewhere else and everybody else train, everybody else do it. You can't just pull up to Old Trafford or somewhere else and win games anymore and say, look at the crest and say we're not united. Like Crystal Palace is a good team. They've had good results. They're not a great team and they're the budget, but they're good teams. And there are a lot of good teams in this league. You can't struggle through a rebuilding process like we are and just be okay. It's not going to happen. So it's going to be a lot of struggling. And I see a lot of struggle in the future for Ten Hag, and he's going to have to find a way because I don't like the way he talks about the team in public. It seems like he's making an excuse. He might be right. All we got to do is this. There's a little thing here, a little thing there. People don't want to hear that. Like, people want to say, people demand, so we're going to do it. The matter of winning or losing. We're tired of hearing fine margins. When he took this job, he should have realized that we have suffered for so long with these excuses and fine margins, and we almost there, and and it's such a hard time in the Premier League to rebuild a team, especially when you don't have the players you really, really want or need, and you have guys who left over we can't get rid of. So it's gonna be tough. I don't see how we climb back up to a top 4 spot if we're playing like this.
Yeah, that's a nickel.
Yeah. All know me, right? All know me. Wherever Ten Hag, boy, I just drink, and I still backing him with that. Again, I really hoping that he could turn the tables in terms of our chance creation. I really hope that he could find a way where we could create chances to score goals. In terms of worrying, no, I don't worrying as yet. To be honest, I know this season would have been a tough season, and it will be a tough season. I think the mess from the top is filtering through the squad as well. I think in terms of United as a maybe a business, it's successful as a business, but in terms of how the club is run and managed as a football club, I think we not in a good space. I think that is what is being filtered throughout the team. And unfortunately, the manager will most likely bear the brunt of the mess we in. But I still back in Ten Hag. I see some things in Ten Hag that I like personally. But he had to start to get it right on the field. He had to start to get it right with his team selections. If it is that Rashford not doing what he should be doing, and maybe need a couple of games rest, then that had to happen, and we had to see make that call. Rashford, yeah, my boy, a lot was, or he delivered a lot last season, but so far this season, maybe need a rest. Take a few games out of the team, maybe coming on after 60 minutes for a couple of games, and build back that confidence. And Ten Hag has to make that decision, because we saw how the team plays as a team in the week. And I think coming into today with the team being so disjointed, that has to be something on Ten Hag's mind. And I really hope that, he really take stock of it and make decisions for the best of the team.
Yeah, I always wonder when a player sign a new deal, and it is for some reason or the other, it has only happened with Man United players, or most times when players sign new deals, the form is just take a nosedive. And I'm wondering if, Rashford's current state, have anything to do with that contract that he recently signed. Because Marcus Rashford playing for a contract, and Marcus Rashford, who's one of the highest players, paid players in the club, with that kind of security, is two different players. I don't know if it's that, right? But I'm not liking what I'm seeing from the player, and I hope, and this is my thing, how Ten Hag could turn this around. Ten Hag had to make some more critical calls, and Nico, you mentioned it. If it means, like what you do for Mount, take Rashford out of the spotlight for a bit, and I know if you keep him on the bench, you're gonna have talk, right? Why is Rashford and if the team lost and Rashford on the bench, that's the next melee he got a final. So, do like we do with Mount. He injured. We know Rashford and like Sancho who go on social media and ball injured, top lying, scapegoat kind of rubbish. We know Rashford will humble himself and stay quiet and play injured. Right? But I think Rashford just needs to come out of the spotlight for a while. Right? And play ahead. Understand that the game is not about you no more. We don't need it to carry the team again. Right? And then let me see how the team fare, because I believe when Rashford not there, and Bruno is the next one, I have something for her, but we could save that. But Rashford right now, because this man carried so much of the weight last season, everybody trying to get Rashford on the score sheet, and they're giving him all the ball, and he doing too much. So I feel Ten Hag gotta make some critical, serious decisions, pull players out of the team, pull favorites, pull senior players, pull your highest paid players out of the team, and play for the team. You just always say team, so play for the team. Right? Go ahead.
Who's the highest paid player on Crystal Palace?
I have no idea.
I think what's the guy's name? Or Olise, and and a goalkeeper.
Henderson. Oh. Kerry on the inside. Ten Hag need to leave before you go mad. Poch need to leave before you go mad.
No, you want to go to Chelsea? That way not.
Christian saying here we literally had 80% possession in the first half. How much crosses? In the last 10 minutes, how much times the ball was put in the box? More than the other 80 minutes. When we're desperate and need a goal, we know to put the ball in the box to score. So why not do it that whole game? All right, and you say no, wait, Rashford was off the field in the last couple minutes, right? So fellas, I want to get this one out. We want to look ahead at Galatasaray before we wrap it up. All right. I mean, Ten Hag and the team going into this game with a lot of pressure. All right, Galatasaray not doing bad in their domestic league, so they come in confident. All the flaws in we game just glaring for everybody to see, so when teams come in, they know exactly how to tactically set up. Question, fellas. What Ole Gunnar do different versus Galatasaray? All right. Does Ten Hag say to the likes of Bruno and Rashford, fellas, go in there and make amends? Or does he change it?
I think he would. Well, I don't know. It's hard, but I think he would use the fuel of today's loss, to fire them on for a change. But I think if we don't get a change after the feeling we had today, then I think after that some head should roll. If you want to say it that way. But I think he would use the fire of the loss today to fuel a response against Galatasaray.
So what kind of change? So you make any changes at all against Galatasaray?
The only change I would make, if Regulon fit, would Regulon be fit?
I'm not sure now, boy. I'm not sure.
Yeah. If Regulon fit, Regulon could come back into the team, and honestly, I would rest Mount and play Amrabat in the middle with Casemiro.
And they will leave Pelastri on the right?
Nah, well, Hannibal will come back in. I'll bring Hannibal back into the team. To Pelastri.
All right. Simeon, what about you?
I mean, I would like to see Hannibal back in that midfield. I think he brings good balance to the team. I think he's somebody that moves the ball well from side to side. Always looking, scanning the field. Who would take out? I would move Mount to the right. I'll put Mount on the right, put Hannibal and Bruno in the middle. I just think for the Champions League game, I want more experience on the right hand side. I don't want anybody out there that's too slow, that can't stretch the field. Amrabat, I don't know, Casemiro ain't quite. I mean, that's the thing with this team. It's no consist. I can't look at a player and say he play one game good and he'll come back and play the next game good the same way. As good as Casemiro has been in attacking, he's been a little bit suspect and late a lot of times in defense. But I would like to see Amrabat somewhere in that midfield as well to show up the midfield. I want to see Martial up front. I know some people won't like that, but
I think I could agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Simeon.
I think just to keep the ball, get more movement, more, I think him and Rashford, some players you play with for a long, they've been together for a while. So they know how to play with each other. I just think that would make the ball move a lot, that ball retention and finding a way to get the ball in the penalty box and anchor from there and move it, either forward or backward. I think Martial does that so well that you create more chances, more good chances in the penalty box. So Martial start to be good, but I'm not enthused by this matchup at all. I've been hearing good things about Galatasaray, how confident they are. So coming here, shouldn't really scare them or anything.
Yeah. I want to see, because I know Galatasaray very strong on the wings. So I will probably risk it a little bit. I will bring in Maguire to play with Varane. No, but
Wow.
hear him out. Yeah, no.
Listen. No, go ahead. Forget I was my facial expression. Wait. Just seeing Maguire in the field is a problem for me. But go ahead.
No, but yeah. And the reason why I do that, the only reason why I do that, right, is because I have no other choice, right? Because I want Lindelof to play left back so I could get Casemiro and Amrabat in the middle of the park. That is why. Right? So I want Amrabat and Cassidy to play with Bruno. Again, Rashford our next shot. I agree with it, our statement Nico made earlier. Again, Rashford our next chance. And if give me what I want Tuesday, then heads rolling. Right? So I'm going to play Rashford on the left again. I'm going to go with Højlund again. Right? And on the right hand side is where I'm going with either, Hannibal and Bruno go ahead and determine Oh no, I think this guy should be ready by
Anthony?
Anthony. I bring in Anthony.
Ooh.
Right? So Anthony, Højlund, Rashford, Bruno, Cassie, Amrabat, Dalot, Varane, Maguire, Lindelof, and Onana. That is how I go in. Right? We even closer to some regard to where's Eric Ten Hag's probably his best squad available. Let's see if they will use this opportunity to make things right, or we will still see the same nonsense, and that's when I believe heads out of start a roll. Go ahead, Simeon.
Let me. If I was coaching, and I wanted to just throw everything at that game, because I mean, if I want to attack that team, I would put Rashford. Listen to me. I mean, on the right, Garnacho on the left, and Marshall in the middle. And that way, you're going to put Galatasaray on their heels. And plus, Rashford passes the ball more often on the right side.
Correct.
But we'll see. I don't think Ten Hag thinks like that.
Yeah. I don't see him doing that. But what I would like to see is Ten Hag making subs a little earlier, because I find it take very long today to make changes. And I felt if he had taken players off and brought them on earlier, it might have get the Anyway, guys, let me get some closing thoughts and I will wrap it.
Yeah, another frustrating day. These Arsenal men, they're happy. Ringing off your phone, you can catch a break with these Arsenal fellas and them. Hey, and with the results today, they were over the moon.
Yeah,
so tough day at the office, but we go marching on.
Yeah, what are you saying, Simeon?
I mean, it's gonna take a while. We ain't gonna wake up tomorrow and be a better team. I mean, we just gotta hope for small incremental improvements each game. Hopefully, the players we have injured come back and actually make a difference. But it's gonna be a painful. I hate to say it's gonna be a painful season, because even if we improve, we still have a lot of good teams ahead of us. So just hope for improvement, but expect the pain.
Yeah. This narrative of one step forward, two steps backward, sticking with me too much now, boy, too much. So I want me to shake it off, so consistency. Let me hope we could bounce back against Galatasaray, and after that, let me just try to push in the right direction and get things right. I believe in Ten Hag. I don't believe in sacking a manager, at this stage of his process. We knew it wasn't going to be an easy fix. It wasn't going to be a quick fix either. We also agree that last season was a sort of kind of, whatever, because of how other teams would have been performing. So probably what we're seeing now is what we were supposed to see last season. But I mean, it is what it is. So guys, I mean, we can only hope for the best. Expect the Anyway, so Nico, it was nice, guys. Those who, when the comments, those likes, those shares, keep them coming. You don't forget that you can find us on Facebook and YouTube. So if you haven't already subscribed, go across on YouTube and subscribe to All In, All United. All right. So guys, have a good night and see you all on the next one.
Hey, good night.
Blessings.
All right, buddy.